breaded chicken or anything that has breading on it and it's meat. Okay, so when you eat fats and proteins, okay, your body breaks everything down into, you know, uh, sugars or fats. What is it? Your glucose. So either it'll convert to glucose or it'll convert to fat. Those are the two main energy sources. But if you eat carbohydrates while you're eating fat and while you're eating protein, it's going to, your body's not going to know how to react to that because it's an unnatural form of like intake of energy and everything all at the same time. You're not going to get that in nature. The two energy sources in that are carbohydrates, which is the breading, and then the fats. So because carbohydrates are readily available and fast converting into glycogen, so it'll store the fat and it'll burn the carbohydrates while it opens up the cells to really to accept the proteins in. Proteins are always
Right.
accepted in, but the fats and carbohydrates they compete for the same receptor, and carbohydrates are always going to win while storing fat. So
Right.
if you eat chicken, which lean meat chicken is not as good for you because it doesn't have the fats in it, and your
Mhm.
body doesn't know how to metabolize the proteins because the cell doesn't open up. The cell opens up with either fats or carbohydrates. So you can eat fats and proteins at the same time, and it's very, very healthy. And you can eat carbohydrates and protein at the same time, and it's healthy because it's going to open up the cell and allow the proteins to be broke down and metabolized and then synthesized into, you know, building blocks of your body.
I see what you're saying, yeah. But then like when you stuff all these other crazy things on top of it,
Oh
like
yeah.
you you go and you get a burger and it's not just the meat, you got to think about what's in the meat. And then it's like it's not just the lettuce, but it's also like, okay, is this a what's like species of the lettuce is it? Is it like a natural lettuce or is it like a GMO lettuce?
Yeah.
Or is it like there's like uh high yield and low yield
Yeah.
crops and certain ones like where are your ancestors from? Are they used to eating that sort of food? So like how does your body react to that food now? And then like and that goes with all the vegetables really. And then the bun, you got those buns with I mean the sugar, the carbs, and it's just the
Yeah.
gluten. I mean it's just one big recipe of confusion it seems for people's bodies.
Well, the main source of illness in the body is inflammation. And a lot of
Right.
the inflammation, the main underlying factor of it is the overabundance in fat and sugars at the same time within your eating because it's going to instantly store fat and train your body to store fat. Now, think of it also like this. Okay, your body resets itself every night into like a natural homeostasis. So when you wake up, your hormones are better balanced, everything is better balanced in the beginning of the day. When you first start to intake food, it sets the tonality for the rest of the day on what nutrients are the body going to run off of for the rest of the day. And when you intake the carbs in the beginning of the day, like I said, with the fats and everything, it's going to use that as a storage of energy, but it's a fast burning cycle of like a roller coaster, up and down, up and down. You're going to need to replace those carbs all day long because that's what it's going to get the energy source off of. Which chronic eating like this, or long-term eating like this, is going to cause chronic inflammation within the cells of the body because you're intaking too much nutrients for your body to then break down and deal with, as far as autophagy and breaking down irregular growth and going through those recycling patterns of cellular dysfunctionality that causes cancer. And not only as far as thermogenetics or thermodynamics, as far as how your body does chemistry, mixing the oxygen and the hydrogen from your fat cells to burn off and produce its own water. There's so much that your body does, and the underlying factor is chronic inflammation that has to do with the overabundance of fat and carbs. Because everything else, it's like if your body had the proper amount of proteins and fats, and sugars running the fuel source not to have inflammation, you wouldn't be so hypersensitive to, say, like gut inflammation when it comes to the lettuce and all these other things that you're
Mhm.
eating. Your body does get irritated from a lot of vegetables and things that have phytonutrients, which is like an anti-nutrient because the natural defense mechanism of the plant doesn't want to be consumed. So it has these
Mhm.
compounds that can irritate your bowel. But we are very, very good at digesting things like that if we were in a homeostasis state to where we were not obese and had that chronic inflammation.
That makes sense.